I've been involved in a number of international organizations that try to work internationally. And the three I speak about are the Carter Center, which was established by former President Carter and has focused on really two broad areas. One has been dealing with specific health issues. They can claim to have eliminated guinea worm disease and some species of river blindness in the world simply by using the power of President Carter's reputation and his capacity to draw experts together to deal with those problems. I work with him not on those issues so much as on governance issues in two continents, Latin America, where we have where there has finally been an agreement by all governments to a common set of human rights standards, but it's not as vigorously followed as it should be. And so there's a group of us called the Friends of the Democratic Charter who try to encourage that to be followed. And also I do some work in making sure that elections are fair in some difficult countries in the world. I led the Carter Center delegation to the election in the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2006. It was their first free election in 40 years. It was a remarkable election. And the Carter Center, I was there for 2 weeks and a symbol of the world's interest. But what we really did, we had a lot of other people who were really expert in the detail of how these things work, who were there for 6 or 8 or 10 months, sometimes in the capital, sometimes out of the most remote and dangerous parts of the country, helping them put things in place. It's really important work, and it can do things that governments very often cannot. A second organization that's quite similar to that is the National Democratic Institute of the U.S., and I do a lot of work with them, principally on governance questions. We're trying to look both at how systems work. We observe elections. We do 3 things. We observe elections when they happen. Increasingly, we are going in before an election happens and talking to people and saying, the world is watching this. I've done that with Madeleine Albright in 2 places. One was in Nigeria 4 years ago, to no great effect. The other was in Lebanon, where I think we did have some impact in the last election. And I'll be doing it again in Nigeria. That is interesting work. You have to be modest about any proposal that our system works better than theirs. You have to be sensitive to why theirs doesn't work and how the principles that we follow can be established. And the third is new. It's fairly new. It's an organization called the Global Leadership Foundation. It was founded really by F.W. de Klerk, the former president of South Africa, who was the other half of that essential team of Nelson Mandela and Mr. de Klerk, who found a way out of the terrible conflict that could have torn South Africa apart, and in fact gave it a quite encouraging new beginning. And when he left office, a lot of people said, you know, there are talents that you learn from governing in hard cases that will be useful to new governments in new countries. And we operate on a very low profile basis here, but if a government needs help in setting up a new health system, or more likely, if it needs help in finding a way to talk to a difficult neighbor, you'd be surprised how often that arises. Or if they need help in containing internal divisions in their own country. These aren't issues where you can get a textbook or hire somebody from Harvard to tell you how to do it. It's quite useful to be able to talk to somebody who's been through a similar situation. And we have a list of, there are 28 of us. Many of us have led governments before. Many of us have been foreign ministers. Quite a number have worked in the highest ranks of the UN, dealing with some of their most difficult issues. And we are a not-for-profit organization that tries to go in and help in that regard. Mr. de Klerk is the chair, I'm the vice chair, and we try to work around the world. I have been involved in the past, and I'm very proud of it, but I'm just no longer on the board of the Center for International Governance Innovation at Waterloo, CIGI, which performs a unique role in the world, I think, in that it takes a look at sort of the theoretical basis as to how governments can respond to change, where innovation can be introduced. They conduct studies of problems and of solutions. They tend to be a little more academic, but they're quite innovative in the examination, and they've got good credentials. They're not seen as being in anybody's pocket. Part of that because they're Canadian, and Canadians are seen as more objective than most other countries. It's very interesting work. It's it's like everything else. As you are running to catch a plane to some place you've never heard of, you wonder, why am I doing this exactly? And in the GLF, we have far more failures than successes. And in all the election observation work that I've done, your high hopes are rarely achieved, but you make little pieces of progress, and that's and in a situation where no progress has been made, or where really awful things were happening for a long time, that little bit of progress is important.